Hello there, folks. It's the WC, and this is the NBA playoffs here on YouTube as the Detroit Pistons take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. First, we'll start off with the Detroit Pistons, looking at their season in review. Um, Detroit's been one of those teams that's been pretty darn fortunate when it comes to injuries. Andre Drummond is one of those players in which you can say that he's definitely top five centers in the league when it comes to potential, when it comes to ceiling. The guy is super young. I mean, I think that him and Carl Anthony Towns are somewhat of the same age, and these guys look like, man, they look like they've been in the NBA forever. Just looking at them, when you look at them, they look old, but these are young guys, and Andre Drummond is definitely the highlight of the series when it comes to the Pistons, man. You can talk about Reggie Jackson, and here's the thing about Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson is just he's a good player, but he's not elite. You know what I'm saying? He'll never really be elite. And hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. Reggie Jackson can shut me up this series by shocking the Cavaliers, but do I see it happening? Eh, I don't know, man. I don't know if Detroit basketball can stop, LeBron James. I don't think that they could do that necessarily, but they've had a really good season, man. They picked up Tobias Harris, which was probably one of the best trades of the trade deadline, picking that guy up because all he did was just come up in there and consistently score points. They got Marcus Morris, not Markeith. Markeith played for Washington. He's going to be a free agent coming up this season. I don't know if he's going to resign with Washington, but Detroit's got a solid team, man. They got Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Their bench play is pretty consistent there. Not spectacular or anything like that, but it's consistent enough for them to be a playoff team for sure. Um, and then you look at LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just another team that's like, I mean, they're the first overall seed. They just held off the Raptors. Um, but they really haven't done anything flashy this year. They're not going for any records. You know what I'm saying? It's what you would expect from a LeBron James team at this point. You know what I'm saying? They kind of put themselves on cruise control. Tyronn Lue taking over after like seemingly like less than 15 games. Kevin Love has had a few injury problems. Same thing with Kyrie Irving has had a few injury problems. But the team was able to be good enough, you know what I'm saying, with a healthy LeBron James here and there of getting the first seed, man, getting the first overall seed. It seemed like they really didn't try to get it, man. It seemed like they didn't really push to get the first overall seed. It looks like it just kind of fell in their lap. I mean, as crazy as that sounds. Matchup that I want people to pay attention to in this series is what I'm saying? More so bench play. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be easy for me to say, the matchup between Kyrie Irving and Reggie Jackson or LeBron James against Tobias Harris, or a combination of Tobias Harris and Marcus Morris. I think that those matchups are important. But I think that the bench player is going to win this series for whichever team. Clearly, I think that Cleveland's got the better bench with Delavin Dova and Tristan Thompson, who can be a guy that can start or not start. Mozgov, and I don't know if Mo Williams is going to be coming back healthy. Iman Shumpert. I think that Cleveland definitely has the deeper bench than Detroit, and I think that that's where the series is going to be won. I don't think that LeBron's going to have to try too hard for them to beat Detroit, because Detroit, even though they have sizable players and players that can contend with the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think that it's just going to be too much LeBron in the end for Detroit to really make any kind of statement on these boys, man. As far as fantasy goes, I really like Tobias Harris. I think that he'll be priced in which at a spot in which he's affordable to make out your lineups. There's a lot of guys that I've, suggested, a lot of high price players, a lot of obvious plays. Like LeBron is an obvious play. If you can get Kevin Love in there at his price, he's an obvious play. Irving is an okay play, not an elite play compared to like guys like Reggie Jackson and the rest of those guys. Not Reggie Jackson, but like Yeah, Reggie Jackson. Like not necessarily Reggie Jackson, but more so like Isaiah Thomas and Teague and other all the other guys on the Western Conference like Parker, who will be a little bit cheaper. So when it comes to fantasy relevance, I think that Tobias Harris is probably the best play here. You can go down and get Tristan Thompson if you want to. Um, you know, Drummond is going to be one of the most expensive centers on the board, but he's a double double guy, guaranteed double double guy. And LeBron is like a triple double threat every time he takes the court. So I think that he's fairly safe. So those are your fantasy options right there. Hope that helped out a little bit. If you want to go like deep contrarian, maybe Dellavedova, because like I said, I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers bench play will be the shining point for this series. I don't think that they really need to do too much, those starters, in order to win this series. As far as who wins the series, come on, Detroit. Um, you know, I think that Reggie Jackson is a really good player, but there's something about him that I'm just saying I just don't see this team, this Detroit team, being powerful enough to beat, LeBron and Kyrie and Love if they're all healthy, if they're all on the court with that bench play. J.R. Smith chucking up shots. I don't see Detroit being able to beat them. I see Detroit being able to steal a game or two, but I don't see the Cleveland Cavaliers losing this series at all. Just me. So let me know how you guys feel about this first round series between the Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that Cleveland can win this series in about 5 games. I think it's safe to say that. I think that Detroit deserves enough respect to say that they can win one game. I don't know if Detroit will get swept. I think that they're talented enough that to get swept, but you know, 5 games I think is safe for Cleveland, the way that they've been playing this year. So let me know how you guys feel down below. It's the WC. This is the NBA playoffs here on YouTube. And I'll see you guys next time.